What's up guys, this is Yasser. Welcome back to my channel. You're watching Yasser's Fit Frag, and today I'm going to talk about another release from Lattafa which I believe is new, and it's called as Rave Now Intense. Okay, this is how the packaging looks. It says Rave Now Intense. This is how the back looks. It's an eau de parfum concentration 100 ml by Lattafa. You can see the Lattafa hologram here and all other details here. The base has these details. Okay, the bottle also looks nice for the pricing because this is priced around 1,300 to 1,500, within that range, so it's not expensive. Though Lattafa has increased their pricing, this one is still in the budget. Okay, so I'll tell you how exactly it smells. Now, Rave Now was an old release which is usually compared with Qaid Al Fursan, but less sweeter than Qaid Al Fursan. Okay, Qaid Al Fursan is a bit of that Aventus with Maltol, that BR540 blend, but Rave is usually stated that it's less sweeter than this one. Okay, and that's why I did not feel like getting it. So Rave Now Intense is a new release, I believe just 4-5 months or maybe 6 months, I'm not really sure. But the Intense version is a new release for sure, and that's why I picked it up just for reviewing it for you guys. So let's find out as to how exactly it smells. Okay, I've heard people comparing it with Versace Dylan Blue. Some say Versace Pour Homme, some say Dior Sauvage. Now honestly speaking, I don't really relate this to Dior Sauvage, neither Dylan Blue, to be honest, but yes, maybe you can relate it to Versace Dylan Blue to some extent, maybe 40-50%, but you definitely cannot call this as a clone or inspired version of Dylan Blue. Okay, so let me tell you what exactly I get. Right off the bat, I get sweet watermelon. Okay, and that's very evident. It starts off with that sweet watermelon. If you remember Armaf Radical Blue, which was also another watermelon based fragrance, you might be able to relate Rave Now Intense with that. Again, I wouldn't say both are similar. They are definitely different when you compare the overall formulation. It's just the watermelon note that I'm trying to compare between this and Radical Blue. I don't really sense Dylan Blue, neither Sauvage, but it definitely has some bit of this and that here. Okay, it's not a completely unique fragrance, but at the same time, this is not a straight through clone of any fragrance. So like I said, sweet watermelon opening. Then comes the cucumber within 10 to 15 minutes mark, along with that sweet watermelon. And that's more or less is what I get here. Okay, it's a bit linear. The base goes slightly woody, a bit musky. I don't really see this as a typical aquatic fragrance, but it is there to some extent. Okay, there is a bit of that aquatic feel along with that watermelon. It's more of that bluish sort of a feel, and that's why people compare this with Dylan Blue, which I'm not completely in disagreement, but I wouldn't say it is beyond 40-50% of that Dylan Blue vibe. You also get a bit of that sage sort of a green spiciness in the opening. Okay, and then in the base, the late dry down, you get sandalwood and cedarwood. A bit of that musky base as well. Overall, definitely not a bad fragrance. Like I said, this is definitely priced in budget. Okay, 1,300 to 1,400, not beyond 1,500, even if you are picking it up from any website. But in case you do not know from where to order this, I'll give you the details in the video description box. You can check it out. So comparing the pricing, I think it is a decent buy. It definitely suits for the summers. It definitely is crowd pleasing. There is nothing annoying about this one. It is definitely pleasing and appealing to the nose. Now coming to the performance, I wouldn't say that it's a beast mode. Now if you go only by the name, it says intense. The first 30 minutes definitely smells intense. It is very evident to the nose because of that sweet watermelon and that cucumber concoction. It smells intense in that first 30 minutes, but it's definitely not a beast mode after 1 hour. Okay, the projection from what I felt dies down after 1.5 hours, and it lasts decent for about 5-6 hours. You can sniff it even in the 7th hour if you dig your nose, but I don't think it would go beyond that. I have waited for about 10 days to test this one. I still don't see this to be that intense like how the name says, but as a daily wear, like an office wear, gym wear, indoors for the summers, I think this is still a great buy, guys. If you don't like the typical Middle Eastern style of fragrance, you want that typical designer style of fresh, fruity, summer aquatic type of fragrance, I think this is a great buy, right? 1300, 1400, let's say 1500. This is a great buy for that price. The lasting is definitely decent enough. 6 hours you can definitely expect, with 1.5 hours of projection if you are indoors and if your skin suits or helps the fragrance to stay decent enough for 5 to 6 hours. I still think it is a good buy, okay? Smell wise, the compliment factor is definitely there. I would still put it as 8 on 10 in the complimenting factor. Unique factor, I would say it is about 7 on 10. Performance factor, I would say it is on 7 on 10. So overall, not a bad fragrance at all. Overall rating, I would still give it a 7 on 10. A great choice for a daily wear for the summer. So definitely check this one out if you are into these kind of fragrances and if you're looking for something in a budget. Okay, so that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in case you have tried this. Comment down in the comment section. See you next time soon. Keep sharing the videos. Cheers.